roads, don't. But if you do have to go out, please drive slowly.
Our professional resident driver, Mark Aram, in the traffic center. And I bet you're glad you're there, Mark.
I'm not leaving for a couple of days. It looks like, you know, I grew up driving in this stuff. I learned how to drive in the snow and the sleet and the ice, and I was scared driving in this morning. Just not enough sand and salt trucks around the metro area to go around to make things passable. Unfortunately, 20 shut down again on the west side of town. It's been intermittently shut off on the west side between the Highway 92 Fairburn Road area all morning long, so eastbound traffic is closed. We're getting a report of a closure back around the Haralson County area, heading in from the Alabama border as well. Westbound traffic is slow, but at least the road remains open. More bad news now out of Cobb County. The latest from Captain Herb.
Area of concern, I-75 northbound. It's temporarily blocked right now because of crashes and ice around the Town Center Mall area between Barrett Parkway, Chastain Road. Slow going on the southbound side as well.
But a sheet of ice, as you can see, they're able to actually push the truck, trying to move that police car out of the way. This is at the Fairburn Road exit. This is in the backup to that previously we just showed you the other tractor-trailer accident about a mile down the road. This is at Fairburn Road. They're trying to desperately get people up this off-ramp and away from I-20 and try to run them through Douglasville and then back on around Thornton Road. However, much to no avail because this exit ramp is a sheet of ice and everyone's having trouble getting up it just to get around this accident. So they'll continue to sit here until such time as they cleared the accident about a mile up the road east of Fairburn Road, I-20 eastbound coming towards the city from Alabama. As you can see, it's nothing but a parking lot. Folks litter the side of the road on the left and right side as we flew about another mile back towards the west. And when we took off, the snow had completely stopped, but since we've been here in the last 10 minutes, a huge snowstorm headed our way from the west again. A very large snow shower with reduced visibility is going to only hamper the cleaning process here, but we'll keep you updated from live from Douglasville. I'm Matt Wallace, Channel 2 Action News.
Matt, that's just an amazing sight. That's one of the worst backups I've ever seen, and part of the roadway looks so clear, but I'm guessing that's that bad old black ice again, isn't it?
Well, I think so, Pam. It looks like the westbound lanes seem to be doing okay. I think the problem with this is I think it's passable. It's just that those two tractor trailers up ahead are completely blocking the interstate as he tries to get his vehicle back onto the roadway and get it out of the way. It's completely blocking. A few cars are getting by as we fly back up that way. I'll show it to you, but it is completely blocked and has made a parking lot out of I-20 coming towards the city.
And I-20 has been the trouble spot really throughout the evening hours and into the morning hours.
It sure has. When we first got here this morning around 6 a.m., we couldn't take off. The snow was so blinding. I talked to Captain Herb, and he said the same thing, that there was really no use in even coming out towards Douglasville or Fulton County Airport where we pick him up because of the snow shower was so heavy you couldn't even see to fly. So it's certainly hampered the travel. As you can see, we approach the initial wreck that has caused such a backup here on I-20. Looks like he's finally got this truck on the road as we speak. So this may clean this whole thing up as he moves this truck out of the way and may reopen I-20 coming towards the city.
Matt, in case it does not, for those people who are watching our coverage right now and the video that you are, the picture that you're providing, is there any way around this mess?
Sure. Actually, if you can get off and go through the city of Douglasville on Highway 5 and Highway 92 and make your way around towards Thornton Road, it was the best idea because this, although they may have this area cleared up here pretty soon, that doesn't mean that it's not going to, this area obviously a frozen area, and in that another tractor trailer may get jammed and get stuck in this area. So it's best to use the surface streets. Seem to be a little more passable than these interstates on the surface streets around Douglasville, I should say.
Thanks so much, Matt Wallace, live above the mess on I-20 eastbound. Avoid this area if at all possible, or you're just going to have to be patient because it's going to take a long time to clear that kind of traffic.
As the I-20 starts to clear up, we'll certainly come back and update you here. I'm Matt Wallace, live in News Chopper 2.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Metro area hasn't seen in almost a decade.
Our winter snowstorm is our top story on Channel 2 Action News at 5. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gus Pintar.
I'm Carol Spargin for Monica Kaufman. We have live Team 2 coverage from all over Georgia, including closings you're going to see at the bottom of your screen. The snow is over. Now the story is the dipping temperatures. The temperature will drop to the low 20s tonight, which means any slush or water on the roads will refreeze, and we already have school closings for tomorrow. Habersham, Heard, Meriwether, Newton, Lumpkin, Jasper, and Carroll counties have canceled classes. Our live Team 2 coverage begins with driving conditions right now. We go to Channel 2's Ross Cavett. He is live in Cobb County. You've been there all day. Are things improving?
Oh, Carol, what a difference 10 hours makes. We're on Windy Hill Road. This overpass was impassable, in fact, closed for a time this morning, but we owe our good fortune. It's about perfect right now. We owe that good fortune mostly to the thermometer, which has been up above the freezing mark for much of the afternoon. It's right off the roads. I-75 behind me. Take it from me, I drove it. It was a nightmare, almost impossible to get across the hooch at times this morning. Even though things are looking much better now, it is a commute that for many of us this morning we will not soon forget. On Highway 41, cars moved down the ice-covered road whether drivers wanted them to or not. John Haney ended up against the guardrail.
I just hit a piece of ice and spun out, tried to stay out of the right-hand lane and guided it into the guardrail.
Don't stay in the road waiting for the police to come work the accident. Go ahead and move your vehicle off to the side and wait there.
And other drivers like Gene Reed finally realized maybe going to work wasn't such a good idea after all.
About as slow as you can imagine, probably would have been a good idea to stay home a couple more hours and get a little more sleep.
I-75 near the hooch was a nightmare. Covered with ice, slippery as all get out, Hal Schlenger decided to pull over and get some work done.
It seems like they're able to make it. It's all stop and go, and if you've driven on ice, you know not to stop, so it's only creating one big hazard.
But by lunchtime, something a bit unexpected happened. What was once icy was soon dry. The snow had vanished, leaving the sun behind. The temperature rose a bit above freezing, and the wind dried off the roads. Those few who risked their vehicles driving to work should make it home safely.
We think the commute itself is not going to be a problem, but we're a little concerned about later at night, you know, the potential for some freezing on bridges again, things like that.
And here's the real danger, and this is what we're looking at right now, a roadway that's been in the shade much of the day. It is still wet on the surface of the road. They think when the temperature goes back below freezing, ice will reoccur. That's why Cobb transportation crews are still on 12-hour emergency shifts and will be ready to roll tonight when the roads freeze once again. Live up in Cobb County, Ross Cavett, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, thanks for showing us that, Ross.
Well, despite some warmer temperatures, drivers are still being advised to slow down tonight, and there is a risk of icy spots on some metro roads. Channel 2's Mark Winnie continues our live Team 2 coverage right now from News Chopper 2 tonight with a look at how traffic is moving, hopefully better than this morning, Mark.
Golston, we're over Spaghetti Junction right now. We're going to use the glare of the sun to try to illustrate a point right here. If, as it appears from up here in the air, where you're seeing the most glare is residual moisture, then that would tend to indicate a potential problem if it's still there when temperatures get below freezing. And again, this is an overpass. Overpasses and bridges tend to freeze faster. Areas where people want to be more careful. You can see there appears to be some that's bone dry, but again, some where it looks like up here, there's a lot of moisture. We should emphasize, as Ross said, that much of the highways and roadways appear to be bone dry and moving exceedingly well. We plan to be back as conditions warrant throughout the newscast. For now, this is Mark Winnie reporting live from News Chopper 2 for Channel 2 Action News.
And as it gets darker, it'll be harder to discern the dry pavement from the icy pavement. Mark, thank you.
We are following the traffic from the air and the ground. Channel 2's Mark Aram picks up our live Team 2 coverage from the traffic center. Mark.
Yeah, Carol, I agree with Mark in the view from the chopper there. Really a tale of two cities between this morning's rush hour and this evening's rush hour. Pavement drier, not a lot of ice. The sand and salt trucks able to do their job right now. And the interstates, if you do have to travel, are in pretty good shape right now, especially I-20. You know, for the last 24 hours, I-20 through Douglasville has just been a nightmare. It's been closed for the better part of the last day, to be honest with you, and stranded commuters heading in from the Alabama area through Haralson and Carroll counties, but right now it is smooth sailing all the way toward I-285. Reporting live from the traffic center, Mark Aram, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Georgia Department of Transportation workers remain on 12-hour shifts to keep the roads clear. In the
Boulder Crest Road, only a few cars venture out in this wintry blast.
Hello, is anybody in there?
Some motorists gave up the wheels, choosing to park on the side of the road. As morning progressed, slow going on Interstate 675 and 285, a few more motorists take to the roadway.
car just stalled out. She doesn't like the cold, I guess.
Mary from Stockbridge says unlike her car, she likes the snow. Still, she ended up stranded along the road. Clayton County Officer Ponda Main came to the rescue.
I came to help her and I got stuck, so now I'm waiting for somebody to come help me. I'm from the Northeast and I love the cold weather and the snow, but my car doesn't like it.
Clayton County Police Officer Michael Davis ended up helping both of them.
Thank you so
When
very
you pull it out like that, put it down and drive 2 or drive 1 and turn in the direction that the car is sliding in. Pull you right out.
And what you're looking at is live pictures of what is going to be freezing up on the snow on the side of the road. Probably the bridges, at least 10%, as they were saying, of the road may look something like this. And as the temperatures drop, that's going to get worse. So it is going to be a little bit touch and go here in Coweta County. For now, we are live in Coweta County. Joyce Oscar, Channel 2 Action News.
Joyce, thanks for that look.
He got the most in Georgia, 8 inches. Fulton 4 to 5. DeKalb County also has 4 to 5 inches on the ground, and Cobb County has 3 to 4, although it was more than like 5 in Marietta, and Gwinnett County has 2 to 3 inches of snow. Jeff Dorr has the roundup on getting around in Douglas County, live from Interstate 20, and that's a good sight to see those cars moving behind you.
They sure are moving. They're zooming by here. What a mess it was early today. It doesn't even look like the same county that we were in earlier. You can see right now the pavement is clear, it is dry, and there's just enough snow on people's lawns, so it still looks pretty. When people saw yards and streets with enough snow for 6-year-old Alex to make a snowman bigger than himself, many of them just stayed home. That was bad news for Douglas County businesses like the Cigar Depot.
There's no cars. There's no people shopping. I'm here by myself.
Staying home was a smart move in the morning, though.
We've got about probably 150, 200 yard section of solid ice.
Where I-20 passes through Douglas County going from Alabama to Atlanta, tractor trailers hit that ice and took off sideways.
I didn't have no idea it was that much ice. I thought it was snow, but it's on an ice bed. It's solid ice.
When 2 trucks blocked the same icy spot on I-20, all traffic stopped for hours and it backed up clear across the county.
We left at 5:15 from Highway 5, and this is as far as I've gotten.
It wasn't until 11 o'clock the DOT got a sand and salt truck out to take the slickness out of the hilly, slippery stretch. It took another hour and a half to clear the traffic backlog. Later, as the sun came out, it naturally cleared up just about every stretch of asphalt in the county. As it did here on I-20, the Douglas County Sheriff's Department tells me the people in this county handled this storm remarkably well. No serious problems to report. We're live in Douglas County. Jeff Dorr, Channel 2 Action News.
Thank you very much, Jeff.